Hello again. In this BenchEzy standard settings video tutorial, we'll be looking at our miscellaneous settings page. Quite a few bits of information that we need to cover here. Most of it is very, very simple. The company settings, very straightforward and self-explanatory. We don't need to cover too much there. Let's have a look at the interface settings. Display file name on drawings. By having this checked, BenchEzy will display the file names on the drawings when the benchtops are presented to the user for approval prior to generating benchtop code. Ask before clearing a drawing. Having this one checked, after a benchtop has been generated and code has been generated, BenchEzy will ask you if you would wish to clear the drawing and start a new one. By leaving this one switched on, it gives you an opportunity to actually add extra machining to a benchtop that you've partly generated. As an example, you may generate a benchtop and you have to add in some machining to cut out a bench-mounted rubbish bin, as an example. By having this checked, making BenchEzy ask the question, it gives you the opportunity to keep that drawing open in AlphaCam and then go and add in extra machining operations that are not covered by BenchEzy. Ask to create a job folder. If this is checked, every time you go to create benchtops for a new job, BenchEzy will ask if you would like to create the job folder. If this is unchecked, it will just go ahead and automatically create the job folders for you. Kill alpha edit. This is just a setting that would normally remain checked because it kills off the alpha edit application, which can be an issue on some people's computers. So by default, just leave this one checked. Looking at our next one now, Benchtop Defaults. These are just basically sizes that we want to use as default sizes. Now, our benchtop with standard 600 millimeters is quite often the most common benchtop size that we produce. Our standardized benchtop thickness, the standard width we would like to use for a window piece, a standardized width for a benchtop that may join on the left-hand end of the bench that we are currently generating. Again, because 600 is our common width, we would set that to 600. We look at our Banjo vanity tops. This is the default radius we would like to use, where the machining operation blends the depth of the top back from the full depth down to the depth of the arm on the Banjo. We're looking now at the bench end curved height. So if we're doing a breakfast bar, for example, it has a curved end on it. This would be the height of the curve on the end of that bench. Bench width wide. So this is our standardized or default size for our servery bench tops. The amount that we would like to trim off the end of our bench at the start of any machining, 10 mil is quite sufficient. By all means, you can set this to whatever it is you would like. The default thickness of our window pieces, 17 millimeters. That's the distance from the top of the laminate surface to the underside of the hogged out area of the window piece itself. The right hand joining, the width of the benchtop that would more than likely join on to the right hand end of the bench that we're currently generating. And the Banjo offset angle, again, this relates to the machining operations that blend the Banjo vanity tops from the full depth back down to the depth of the Banjo arm. Our user defaults, by leaving this machine football on double rolls checked, if we were machining a benchtop that was rolled front and rear and it was a mitered join, say at 135 degrees, BenchEzy will automatically add the machining operations to machine the football on the back corner for us. You can leave this as turned off and manually override the setting when you are actually generating a benchtop. Any of these settings, any of the benchtop defaults or the user defaults, can be mostly overridden at the time when we're generating benchtops. Machine a drip lip. If we were to machine drip lips by default, having this checked here, BenchEzy will automatically put a drip lip on each and every benchtop. Trim the top depth by default. The use of this setting is explained by this example. If we brought in all of our 33mm substrate in 610mm ribs, but we supplied our benchtops at a finished depth of 600, we would have this setting ticked. So what that means is, by default, every time we generate a benchtop with BenchEzy, it will automatically add the machining operations to trim the bench to its finished depth of 600. Enable tool sorting. Now, in general, this setting would be left checked, because what this setting does, it tells BenchEzy to optimize all of our tooling operations, because when all of our machining operations are added to our benchtop as it's being constructed, the tools are put on in no particular order. By having this ticked, what this does, it will then go through and optimize all of our tools so that it minimizes the number of tool changes that are required while that particular benchtop is being machined. The normal setting for this would be turned on. You can, of course, turn it off, but be aware that if it's turned off, your benchtops will be spending longer on the machines than what is actually really necessary. The last setting on this tab is for skins. Now, a skin is basically what the forms look like. Now, to give you an example, I will go in here and select a different type of skin, and as you can see, that the forms change appearance. There's quite a few different forms that you can use. You just have to find one that you are comfortable with and is easy for you to read. There's quite a few to choose from. Some of them are a bit more out there than others. Now, once you have saved all of this information, the particular skin that you have selected will be used on any form once it's opened by BenchEzy. If you like to change the skins, you could always come back into the settings here again and select a new skin, which will then be the current skin from then on. Alright, I hope you have found this video tutorial on BenchEzy standard settings informative. Thank you for watching.